Guys, it's time to roll for initiative for the final day of Term 1 of ASL. It's been a beautiful 4 weeks that we've gotten to experience the mega stars in the making, the future of esports. And today is the final day of Term number 1. My name is AR. Joined with me is Sam, aka Naoto Mizuki. And we are going to be going through the final 2 lobbies of Fortnite. And then we even have some Valorant later on. Sam, what do you think of the final day?
I think that it's come far too soon, but I'm also very excited to see how things shape up at the end of the day. Now, obviously, some of our standings and so on had already started to shape up and given us an inkling of what things were going to look like at the end. But sometimes it can be anyone's game. Some things are a lot closer, a lot more hotly contested, particularly around the bottom end of the first division cut or the Premier Division cut off, right? That's where teams are going to be really scrapping and scraping to try to gain that position. And none of this would be possible without our amazing partners over at Acer Nitros. Thank you so much, guys, for being involved and for helping us make some school dreams for some future pros come true. And remember, guys, if you want to get involved, if you want to be able to compete here in the ACGL Schools League, then, well, Term 1 is clearly over. But there is still time to sign up for Term 2. So make sure that you go on over to schools.acgl.gg. All of the information that you need is there. There's also like an email address. If I saw somebody in the chat yesterday that was like, I don't understand the website. That's okay, little homie. It's a bit weird for kids to not understand websites in this day and age, but that's okay. There's an email address. Find a teacher, ask them to send an email, and you can get all the information that you need so that you can come and join us here at the Schools League.
Yeah, 182 schools have signed up this year for ASL. If you guys go ahead, get your schools involved, we can surely reach that 200 schools for term number 2. And what this all is these guys trying to get into that Premier Division. 32 spaces that are open for these guys to go ahead and enter. But the catch is only one team per these schools can go ahead and be in that Premier Division, and seeding obviously going ahead with term 2. All of this leading up to that massive LAN at the end of July, AGC, that's happening at UCT in Cape Town. And last year it was an absolute banger. This year it's surely going to be much, much bigger.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And I think what makes it so fun, and you guys will see when we take intermissions, and I believe I'm not sure if we were playing it. No, we wouldn't have been playing it earlier. But during our intermissions, we play these awesome interviews from previous lands where some of the kids are talking about how much they enjoy it and what their experience is like and how much it means to them to be there. And it really does give you a great idea of the vibe that you can expect at one of these lands. And I think that it just means so much to these kids to be able to, at such a young age, say that, you know, some of them will have traveled, some of them will, you know, have already been living in Cape Town, but no matter where they come from, no matter what corner of the earth, they all converge, and it's this amazing inter-schools experience, very much like what we would have in traditional sports, where you would have your derbies, where Grey Bloom heads off to Paulrus on the train to go and play a rugby match weekend or whatever, right? It's a similar vibe, but it's for the kids who maybe never found sport that interesting. So they also have an opportunity to meet other like-minded kids and get these really, really important experiences that will kind of help to shape their lives. It's really, really exciting. And I'm so glad that I get to be a part of this journey.
Yeah, and not even just meeting like-minded kids as well. They get to meet the pros that they look up to, the South African players that play these games professionally, because it's not just Fortnite. It's Fortnite, Rocket League, Valorant. Sometimes we even have League of Legends sprinkled in there. Many, many titles for ASL through ACGL itself. So these guys actually go ahead and meet these professionals that have influenced them to go ahead and take that stepping stone to go and play esports professionally themselves for their schools. And then those professionals get to see who they've influenced as well. It's absolutely incredible to go ahead and witness. But Sam, for the first of 2 games on the final day of term number 1, we are once again dropping out of that battle bus, and the strats still seem to be the same. A lot of people trying to stick up north on this map. A couple teams going towards these newer POIs, and then a fairly good amount of squads going down low to Hopeful Heights, the factory, and even over to Mask Meadows as well.
And just so that you guys are aware, we've got quite a few teams competing in this lobby, which makes it very, very exciting. And well, with that, right off the bat, the battle happening over here. Already we've got one player going down low. And it's too dangerous to go for the revive. Sneaky, super cheeky, trying to catch that player as they run in to down their teammate. But look how quick these builds are. No chance whatsoever to really get anything done. Brought all the way down to 4 HP, but has managed to at least deny some movement, some opportunity. Going to be able to heal back up. But unfortunately, they've already lost one of their teammates. Maybe they'll be able to bring them back in a bit later on. But for now, they have to carry on as 2.
Juno, a name that we've seen within the last year, throwing that thermite on the builds, trying to go ahead and get a little bit of area damage, and we'll get the final kill. That is going to be one of the PRG teams that we usually see over in ASL, and we talk about those teams that are always on the top, those teams that are at the top of the food chain, for word's sakes over here. PRG, like I said yesterday, the 3 most dangerous, destructive letters in ASL. I mean, they seem to always be on top, no matter what game they play. And it's going to put that target on their back, but knowing how good that they are, they'll just say, hey, it's a cape. It's not even a target. We're just the kings of this area. That's our cape right now, and we're looking for that crowns with the victory royales as the first zone does get shown to us, still keeping a lot of the northern area in the safety as we move over to Cool Asakura. Moving through, finds all these builds, spots out an opponent is missed that shotgun shot. All the way at the northernmost tiny island. The spray goes ahead, takes down Copy from Osmot. And now spotting where the other player that jumped off of the cliff went, spots the box down low, marks it, and teammate on 150 ping goes ahead, breaks the wall, forcing that opponent out. The crack on the shields, the hollow twister going ahead, and 150 ping goes ahead and gets that elimination, taking us down to 22 teams, 51 players left alive.
And what's really dangerous about this lobby is that 3 of our top 5 teams are currently in this lobby. Edgemead in 2nd place, Glenwood in 3rd, and De Anker in 5th. All 3 of them, I actually saw the Anker in the kill feed a little bit earlier on. So there are a lot of really, really strong teams here in this lobby. That's going to make things very scary, but also it's going to keep things very hotly contested. I don't think that we're going to see quite as one-sided an affair as we saw yesterday, because damn, PRG had an absolute banger. Really, really good day at the office, as they say.
Yeah, no, they seem to always just give us banger after banger after banger. As we spectate now another Osmot side. And the sprays from that hollow twister from Vexy, landing a few shots, did go ahead and lose some shield. But now taking that launch pad to go ahead and spot out the surrounding areas. We'll see an opponent swimming, gets shot from the side over there, was Tony. And a few more shots, goes ahead, gets the confirm on Cool Asakura. And if you remember correctly, that was a duo. So we'll have to go ahead and try to get that reboot card again. We do know how the numbers advantage, and more so the numbers disadvantage, actually works within this. We've seen it countless times. I mean, there is that slight chance, like we saw a couple of days ago, where Duo went ahead and took over the whole thing. But we talk about the Anchor, and we move over to their Mr. Above Average, Spectre, and Minty in this lobby. And I mean, you look at the shots that these guys put out. It's just absolutely insane. We saw them a couple of weeks ago go ahead and drop almost a 30 bomb on a victory royale. And that is insane to think that that's happening in ASL.
Yeah, some solid beaming that comes through from these guys quite consistently. But now I think that we're reaching a slight lull as teams start to kind of move in a little bit. Oh, there's somebody out in the middle of the ocean there. Lots of time to come back in, at least. Not in any great danger, but that's rough. Down to only the last one left for his squad. So circle sweeping is going to have to be the name of the game here. And to be fair, being out in the zone this early on, that's okay. You're not taking a ton of damage. You can farm up some resources. You've got some time to move. He's relatively close to where the next zone, or rather where the safety area is. He's chilling. I think this is the best strategy that he could be going for right now.
Yeah, getting that early rotation of as far away as possible from anyone that may be shooting at you, keeping an eye on that storm damage. It's still very, very early. You can tank it for as long as you need, but needs to go ahead and get the teammates back as soon as possible. As we move over to Kaizen on the train, spots Peter Griffin going ahead and robbing the train. And you're not going to be laughing like you usually do over there, Peter. Brian's not here to help you as another one gets knocked by Kaizen. Last one now moving into the train. And good heavens, Brian, these guys are cleaning house on the train as the final elimination comes through. And all that glorious loot is left for our survivors.
Jeez, Kaizen. All right, goes on a little bit of a rampage here. Gets so much done. Already up to 7 KP very early on in the lobby. And talking about early on in the lobby, we're already down to only 17 squads. 10 squads have been wiped off the face of the earth. And funnily enough, everyone's still kind of sweeping. But I think there's like 2 or 3 teams. Okay, there's 4 teams. Never do maths on stream. There's like 4 teams that are positioning well into the next circle. The rest still have so far to move to get into a tight spot. Ooh, shot out of the sky. Clay pigeon shooting. We love to see it. Absolute beamage here. But now looks like they're going to try to W key onto this enemy team. Teammate just behind, so great potential for a crossfire possibly. As the builds come up, it's going to force them to have to push that little bit harder. Ooh. Resurrection, unlikely to be allowed to happen. But the builds just keep coming up in your face. You're already in with another player, and unfortunately, maybe got a little bit too greedy with that W key and has been taken out. Now it is truly just Milo to try to hold on for his school. He'll be building himself up into a little tower here, get a little bit of healing going, and try to hold the line before those players move in on him. Seems they either haven't spotted him yet or no. They have an inkling, but they're going to take their time. They know that he's not going to engage in on them by himself without, a little bit of time to recover. So they're going to take that time as well. And Milo's going for this.
Ooh, interesting choice to actually go for that. 40 builds left, and there's multiple opponents to deal with. It's out, though. Shotgun in hand, 29 builds as the high ground tries to get taken by this team. You're down now to 11 shield. You got everyone pushing you, and it's going to be very difficult, and ultimately does get eliminated over there. And that was an interesting decision from Creeps. Instead of trying to go for the res on the already knocked teammate, went ahead and pushed into the fight, was creeping on the low, no pun intended, and got wiped out by those builds that you mentioned. I also want to go ahead and point out something that I hope we'll actually get to see. I want to go and see Juno at some point in time in the nearby future, because Juno, as Solo Spectre, did not spot that guy in the bush. The elf hidden from Christmas in the bush gets the freest of eliminations. Juno eliminated not only Dragon, but also AWAC. Those are 2 names that we've seen dominate a lot before, and there was a bunch more kills that happened for Juno in that time. So I do want to go ahead and catch up with Juno in a little bit. But right now, Minty on the low ground, in that bush now, building up, going to destroy that bush, and there's that gold rush effect to give that faster pickaxing, chooses to get that baseball bat out and move away. And that was the sneakiest elimination that I think we've ever seen over there. The elf going ahead and just sticking around in the bush, and will unfortunately get taken out by Kaizen as they secure more eliminations. I want to point out, Kaizen's on 8 eliminations already, Sam.
Yes, Kaizen is also on a different team to who was knocked down a little bit earlier on. So potential third party here, yeah, which is exactly, I think, why was it Average or Minty? I think it was Minty.
Oh, it was Spick.
No, that ran away.
Oh, yes, Minty. Yes.
Yeah, instead of opting to try to push that, you realize there's another team in the near vicinity. Why take that unnecessarily? Unfortunately, it does mean that, teammate lost, and gonna have to try to deal with that a little bit later on. But still in this lobby, still in some contention. I will say, I think the green elf outfit certainly helped with that little bit of bush camo. Not the way that you expect bush camo to look, but, it do be like that sometimes. No! Oh, buddy, hidden behind the tree from an entirely different team and taken out from the high ground of a building across the way. That's rough.
That is a rough one over there. This last one left alive gets taken out from a completely different angle. And we move over to the Osmo team. Washed Up Tony, Maskas, and Vexy, as they find themselves in another build battle, trying to get some more KP. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be kills and placement that is going to feed into those points. So while you may not have the most amount of kills, if you can get that victory royale, you're securing at least 65 points to get to your name, to your team, to your school. Vexy building out now as much cover as possible. You can see that beautifully edits the window and puts down the ramp on the outside to keep that wall just a little bit more safe. And wasting a lot of materials over here. Vexy now getting shot in the back. Tony gets knocked. Now on the slight high ground, Vixie getting shot from every single angle. Muscars gets taken out as well. Vixie down to 8 HP and gets baseball batted. That's a home run for Juno. And that is 12 kills for Juno. I mean, we saw this name pop up so many times in that kill feed while we were spectating other fights. And we see that mythic suppressed pistol in hand, meaning that they've taken down the armored vehicle already. They've secured a ton of KP, and they're pushing forth to go ahead and look for some more.
Yeah, between Juno and Kaizen, they really do seem to be raking up all of the kills in this lobby. Dunker here, not really having had an opportunity to do much themselves. They've been heavily under fire for a lot of this lobby, but they are back up to a 3-man squad. So they'll be glad to at least have that reinforcement, I suppose. They'll have that ability to fight it out. Everybody's here towards the floodgate, which is interesting. It's like the entire lobby has all decided to converge en masse here, and some teams will unfortunately suffer for it. 20 teams down total, only 7 left. This really has been a full-on W key lobby. Obviously, I'm always here for it. We love the action, the high-octane shenanigans. And the beaming from down range. Oh, shots not quite connecting. But doing a lot of suppressive fire here and stopping teams from wanting to push in.
And you're wasting any shields that those guys may have as well. You may not be cracking them, but you're taking them low enough where they have to use that mini. They have to use that big pot for around 30 shield maybe. Actually goes ahead and cracks one over there is Rilo all the way up top, and then turns around the sixth sense to look back, knowing that there's going to be a player coming in from the storm, and then cracks that player as well. I mean, that AUG is such a good gun. Meanwhile, Juno, up close and personal, blue sentinel pump in hand, gets cracked, taking out 36 HP, and actually gets knocked over there. Enough awareness to go ahead and drop down from that height while the protection was still on to not take fall damage. And Cade now all the way up top. Juno will go ahead and get confirmed. Cade all the way up top, spraying into the storm. We are down to 7 teams, 18 players, and we're still on storm number 4. This has been quite a fast-paced game for the 27 teams that we started with.
Yeah, it's actually quite surprising, I think, to see just how overly aggressive it's been. But, you know, last day of the term, teams want to go out with a bang. They want to rake up as many points as they possibly can. We've already seen a couple of our players doing very well in the KP overall. I think everybody's just kind of trying to channel that a little bit here. We'll go and check in with Rilo here. Yeah, I like this. Doing a little bit of a loot. Doing a little bit of a pick up some of the stuff that's been lying around. So, there we go. It's your favorite toy in the whole game.
And not just that, the reboot going out as well, meaning Juno will come back to go ahead and get at least a couple more kills. Gets beamed out of the sky, though, on that reboot by that mythic pistol that Juno had.
Yeesh.
A little bit of revenge kill over there, and Kaizen now pushing forward, 9 kills to the name, dropping down, looking to secure that 10th confirm. But getting shot at by the rest of the team. Shotguns out and now has to build that little bit of cover. And you're deep in the storm right now. That storm is going to go ahead and move once again in around 40 seconds. And it is storm number 5, meaning it will go ahead and deal a lot of damage. Juno, though, does get taken out, securing that 10th elimination for Kaizen. But Kaizen will get confirmed as well. Traded out by Rilo. Kyle moving all the way down the floodgates, and the circle moving all the way down to Shogun's Solitude, all the way down southwest. And it seems like there's one player, or maybe it's a team. It looks like it's one player right now that's sitting atop that castle, sitting atop that throne, waiting by that Torii gates for anyone to come through. And oh, they're just having a grand old time over here. They're bing chilling, guys.
I must admit, going for that revive was brave, to say the very least. But maybe it was meant as a distraction. You know, you got one person coming in, they're like, all right, everyone's going to look. Okay, listen. Hear me out. We're going to revive you. Everyone's going to turn and shoot at you, and we're going to run away. Trust me, it's a great plan. So, you know, could be the thought process there. I do love this. It's similar to what we saw. I want to know, okay, so circle prediction is a huge part of BRs. It's spoken about in a lot of different BRs. You want to be able to figure out very early on where that circle is going to be going so that you can set yourself up. How the heck did they figure out so early on that that's where the circle was going to be? Was it just purely luck of the draw? Did
I
they
mean,
have like some insider info?
yeah, I mean, the only way they could have actually gone ahead and done that is by having a radio tower near them that activated, taking out those AI, and then getting the storm scan, which shows you the zones as it goes along. But even that is going to be a tough one considering where they are right now. I'm not too sure if there is any radio towers that are close by, as Spider managed to get one of the teammates back up. Moods now in the fight alongside Spider. This was our strong swimmer at the start of the game. And now that zone moving all the way back to Canyon's Crossing, all the way east from where it originally was. And a lot of teams now going to be pushing through. Kyle, actually the last one left alive on his team, but they've secured so much KP that they just need to survive until that top 3 situation to get some more points.
Yeah, that's going to make a big difference no matter how you look at it. And our team from that were just kind of being chilling and having a little Christmas party. Unfortunately, they've now had to start rotating. They've now had to get into a fight, and well, they are not seasoned. They were not ready for combat, and Soap Lord's already gone down. VV, Batman, and Lexus trying to keep themselves alive a little bit longer here, see if they can get themselves into a decent position. They found a good spot in the zone at the very least, and now it's just about building those towers around themselves. Lexus, however, is being melted down, so it's all down to Batman. Batman's also taking serious damage. I don't know how much longer he's going to be for this world.
You know, I've usually seen Batman go ahead and wear a mask, not a box on the head. That's the first one for me as
Same
Cade,
thing, man.
You know, it could be. If it was a matte black finish box, maybe it would have some stealth, but not a Christmas present, you know? As Cade beams out of the sky and one knocked on the floor over here, 7 teams left alive still. Gonna go ahead and check that reboot ban in case anyone might still be over to Juno, getting the confirm on Withered Ash. Will get back up in this game, and I mean, 18 kills already is a massive amount, and we have our 7 teams, 15 players, and Cade, I can't tell if Cade hit that shotgun shot or not, but definitely got hit with that shotgun shot, and now that player is down low, and it is going to be Kyle that is the last one left alive for their team, and will unfortunately get taken out. Focused on one side on Rilo, did not notice Juno sneaking up from behind, taking the wall, and that takes us down to 13 players, 6 teams, and now it comes down to what loot you have and what positioning and rotation ability you have. Do you have the mobility, the launch pads, like we see Pine over here, the launch pad download, to rotate if need be? And do you have good enough loot for those final fights to deal out massive amounts of damage while maintaining your builds and maintaining the heights? Do you have all of that combined for these final zones? Because look where the circle has pulled to right now. There's mountains in the way. There's a lot of checking that's going to need to be done by these guys to get into the safety. And as we see from Moods and Spider, they have a high ground advantage. They have that launch pad down low, and they are just dealing a little bit of damage over on guys that are trying to rotate. And it's forcing them to waste materials that could be used in the end game. Look at this mountain. Not much to go ahead and farm over here. A couple of trees, but Mood's getting cracked, and also cracking that play as well, as Spider now pushing up, and Mood's going to try to heal.
This was a very brave decision, but they needed to start moving. The storm was coming, so they really didn't have too many options, and unfortunately it's put them in a very, very difficult situation, burning through some of those resources, as you mentioned, but still doing all right for now, managing to survive. And oh no, as I say that, just absolutely taken out. And it's all going to be down to Spider now to keep his team alive. Meanwhile, we've lost another team in this lobby. Spider attempts to relocate. Batman's still alive somehow. You know, he's
Batman got the kill too.
He's doing the thing, man. He's doing the most.
He's
but
the
how
Batman.
much more?
He's the Batman. He does the many things. He is the Batman. As we see the baseball bat come through over there, Minty lucky enough to go ahead and catch themselves from that, and that player will go down. I can't tell if that was Rilo that actually took that player out or not, because that's a completely different team that may have shot then as well. But I mean, Minty, Mr. Above Average, and Solo Spectre, they have some good amounts of kills to their names. They are in that top 3 situation. 8 players left. I mean, look where that circle is. They have the advantage. They are the closest ones right now to it, but there is a team down low over there. Two teams left over here. 3v3 situation. And you can only imagine that that's Rilo and the rest of the squad versus Minty and the rest of the squad. These are two behemoths, two titans in their own rights for this game. And Rilo gonna go ahead, fire the first shot off, initiate the battle, initiate the war between these two teams, the final two for the first game of the final day of Term 1 ASL, as Rilo gets absolutely beamed, taking out to 47 HP, no shields left. Cade, baseball bat, trying to rotate back to the team. Just keep an advantage of numbers. All fire together. Unity throughout these guys. But they will have to move to that zone. The zone is being extremely cruel to Juno and the rest of the squad. The other team on the hill being Mr. Above Average. The Anchor, they are closest to the zone. But Juno finds a way in. Builds up now, trying to secure that high ground. Tries to get an angle with that hollow twister. Cannot find one, spots one up the top, but as the shots go out, they try to build up. Cracks one, though. Cade on an opposing high ground as well. A completely different angle, and this is something that they're doing incredibly well. They are finding multiple angles to put so much pressure on this team. The Bulls break down, but no one in that Bulls. They've all moved already, and damn, the circle has moved one more time. It's going to be tough for both of these squads to go ahead and get in that final zone. Who is going to walk away with the first dub?
Oh, it's so tough to say. They're doing so well to play around each other so much, and both teams have kept up quite a bit of resources just to be able to continue building. How Juno survives that, who actually knows? But he does, an important one as well, so gonna have an opportunity to try to heal up. But the W key has happened. Rilo now in it to win it, chasing down this team. A shotgun shot to the back of the head, and Spectre will get taken offline. This gives a massive opportunity here for Rilo and squad to gain control of this fight.
And one player dropped down over there. You ask, how did Juno survive that? Who knows Juno? That's what I'm saying. As Cade now breaking through the box. Time to get the pickaxe elimination. And actually does. That is the first time in ASL we've seen the final elimination of a game end with a pickaxe and 25 kills to Rilo, Juno, and Cade. They will take the first victory royale.
And that is Klerksdorp High School, the team name Nothing But Gas. You see, I like that there are teams that have actually named their teams that are not just simply Klerksdorp A. So there you go, Nothing But Gas winning out in that lobby. They were ranked 7th in the lobby at the beginning of this week. So they're clearly trying to climb up and get as good of a placing as they possibly can. But well done to the Danker guys, again showing their prowess, showing what they're capable of. In fact, they were in the very first lobby that I ever cast for the Schools League, and they did go ahead and win that lobby. So just continuing that streak of incredible positioning, incredible firepower, and when it came down to it in this lobby, unfortunately not able to get that final dub, but still get a whole hell of a lot done for themselves.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, 65 for first place, plus that 25 that they got on the KP as well. Again, it is going to be kills and placement that feeds into those points. This is ASL, baby. I mean, if you're not impressed with the action that you're seeing right here, maybe you need to just rub your eyes a little bit, slap yourself just a tiny bit, take a rest if you need to, and come back. Because this is the future of esports. This is the mega stars in the making. And it's just getting started. We still have a whole nother lobby of Fortnite coming at you live over here on the African Esports channel. And after that, we will go into some Valorant action as well. So Sam and I will be here waiting in the background while we set up that second lobby. And you guys, in the meantime, can go ahead, cool yourself off, because that was the hottest action you've seen. And then come back, because we have a whole nother lobby for you guys. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after this intermission.
Welcome back, everybody, to the ASL? Yes, ASL. ACGL Schools League. So many acronyms. We are right in the depths and the thick of our final Fortnite broadcast of the term. We already finished our first lobby, and what a crazy affair it was, AR. Bit of W keying there, but in the end, it was the two teams with the highest KP that came head to head. But ultimately, it was nothing but gas from Claric Store Pie that managed to win out on that victory royale.
Yeah, I mean, a team that's off the leash, all gas, no breaks, going at it. 115 points secured in that one game. Remember, chat, this leaderboard right now that you're seeing is only of that first game that we just got done with. 115 points for a single game is nutty. That was 25 eliminations with a 65 for the first place. It's insane. And I do believe that it's 2 points per elimination as well. We did get confirmation on that fairly recently. So, I mean, these guys are on par to going ahead and sticking up top and getting into that Premier Division easily, Sam.
And also, just so this is the combined points, placement, and kills, and you can see their Grey College in second position. They had 15 kills at the end of their lobby, and then the Anker sitting in third place, because while they did come second, it looks like they only got 7 kills in that lobby. Bit of an odd one. And then we take a look at some of our high-ranking teams in the overall standings. Glenwood. They got 13 kills in that lobby, but unfortunately, no, decent placement. Oh, wait, no, I'm lying. I'm talking absolute nonsense. There they are in third place, fourth place even. Do you know what? It's really difficult because I have on both screens and I have to like double check, like, okay, these were the kills. That's where they're standing. These are the players. There's a lot of stuff to keep track of here because there's so many teams, so many schools, 182 schools, as we said before. So to keep track of all of them is, it's always going to be it's a labor of love. And Edgemead, for those that were interested, our currently second place team, well, they didn't get any kills and they finished 17th. So they unfortunately did not score any points in that lobby.
That's insane to actually think about. I mean, guys, what Sam is trying to say is that skill level is so high for these guys that it's tough to go ahead and get the numbers precisely. I mean, we just saw what happened in that first game, from the builds going out, the beams going out, the risky reboots that we've seen in the Storm, all the way to a pickaxe elimination as the final elimination as well. You can tell these guys are hungry. Why? Because 32 teams go to that Premier Division, and it's only one team per school that can be in that Premier Division. And all of this, of course, leading to AGC, that massive LAN that happens where all of these guys get together to show that they're the best, to put their money where their mouth is, to put their builds higher than everyone else on the island, and stand atop with that victory royale. And of course, all of this brought to you by Ace and Nitro, making it possible for all of these guys to take that stepping stone, to go to these lands, to compete. I mean, Sam, when we were in school, we would have killed for an opportunity like this. I mean, it's insane how far esports has come for all of these guys in schools.
Listen, okay, not to show my age, but when I was in school, we still had CRT monitors, okay? And for those of you that don't know what a CRT monitor is, just be thankful and
don't
move
Google
on with your life.
You'll find a year that's a while back, and we don't want that happening.
For anyone that watched Grown Ups, there's that scene where Adam Sandler's kid is like, "What's this box behind the TV?" And Adam Sandler's like, "That's the TV." Yeah. We had that the computer version, which was CRT monitors. So I don't think that this was ever going to be a possibility back in my day, but very cool that this is something that we get to be a part of in today's day and age, that these kids have this opportunity, that they have the resources, that they have the games, and of course that they have the passion and the skill to make it happen.
Yeah, we had to have hamsters running in wheels to power our computers back in the day, ladies and gentlemen. But the bus now leaving the island, and the same strategy that we've seen over the past couple of weeks, everyone moving up north. And for some reason, I still can't figure out why. I mean, there is that black market that's over there. There is the armored vehicle that will spawn. It's, it's going to be fairly good to get an early mythic and your materials up. But other than that, you're not securing much besides maybe some early eliminations, as Juno gets an elimination very, very early on. Kyle as well eliminating creeps, and now we have a solo player just running away, trying to get to safety and maybe come back for that reboot card. Still very early, 27 teams in this lobby as well, but we're already down to 69 players within this.
Yeah, so early on, already having a couple of kills to come through. Not going to bode well for the rest of the lobby. We already said, right, that first lobby was a bit of a W key fiesta. I don't see that changing too much. Ooh, getting shot from behind here. Oh, man. You know, she just got home from getting the groceries. She got the cat on the shoulder. She's just chilling, living her best life, and getting absolutely dumpstered on. And, of course, that seems to be a theme here for this poor team. So, Crazy Zach in a tree outside. Not getting involved in that argument. Not my circus, not my monkeys. We'll see if he can... Not a tree, actually. A bush. My bad. I thought that had a little bit more elevation than it did. Maybe he's going for the same sneaky shenanigan we saw a little bit earlier with the elf on the shelf.
Yeah, I mean, that worked incredibly well. It secured one elimination. It didn't last too long. There was that random third party that did come through. I feel like it would have worked better if that third party didn't actually show up, as just Milo gets eliminated in that kill feed down to 65 already. And, you know, this is where things slow down. You know, there's a couple eliminations here and there, but for the most part, everyone now trying to get those mythics, trying to get those vaults. Even that train, I mean, it's like one of the few times that we've seen this past few weeks in ASL where that train actually goes ahead and gets looted. And we get the boss spawning. We get all the AI spawning over there. And it's wonderful to see because it's such a unique mechanic that's added into the game. And these guys are using it perfectly. The train was made so much harder to actually break into as Dizzy gets hit with that shotgun shot. 50 HP left. Only 2 spray weapons in the inventory and no more materials as well. No shotgun to help out this battle as the opponent drops down. The sprays still try to come through. You cannot build, but you get saved for a second and get taken out by a PRG member. Ginger Boy getting that elimination and now rushing over to go ahead, and it is the teammate.
Yeah. These early fights are always such an interesting one, right? I think that if you know that you're a strong team and you know that you can take these fights, then it's almost always the correct call. But very often, I'd love to see more teams disengaging rather than trying to take these fights, rather than trying to take fights unnecessarily. Also, I love this dude's name, Bugger from Wish. Amazing. Sorry, slightly sidetracked there. But yeah, would love to see more teams kind of disengaging and keeping safety, relative safety at least, for later on in the server. But I think most of these teams, they're young, they're full of confidence, and they feel like, you know what, we can win this. And unfortunately, that can only be true for a select number of people.
This is not your Fortnite World Champion, Booga. No, this is the Booga from Timo and Wish. We'll go ahead and see how that fares for them. 22 teams left alive, 52 players. We'll move over to Withered, Ash, Kaizen, and Kyle. I mean, these guys did very, very well in that previous game. I think they secured at least a top 7 position, if I'm not mistaken, in that last game, with a good amount of kills, as well as trying to shield up his Withered, and the bull's getting sprayed at from down low, marking exactly where the player is on that rock. Oh, getting a hand now for Kyle. Tries to take a few pot shots, but not connecting on any of them. And now we'll go ahead, beam those bulls. The hollow twister in the hands of Kaizen, connecting a couple of times. Not enough to go ahead and get any knock whatsoever. But Kaizen now getting shot as they try to trade out assault rifles. Kaizen picking up that collateral. And there are some new things coming soon. And hopefully when we get into Term 2 in April, we still are in the season with the new updates that come through, because there's some cool things that I want to see these guys use, from that collateral assault rifle having a completely different variant that makes it even more powerful than what it already is. As Dragon, AWAC, and KB right now at the Lone Wolf lair. And I mean, Dragon just straight up breathing fire with this laser on the player trying to run away, baseball bat in hand, as they get that tiny bit of movement speed. But Dragon aiming that laser down, and the mobility coming through, and we have a crime scene chase over here in the Crime City update.
I was trying to think of like good classic crime scene music, but I don't think that there is like a like a meme worthy. Like you got the spy music, the James Bond, right? You got the Benny Hill music for the clown moments. But I don't think that there's like a specific crime
We could do the
music.
Scooby-Doo theme song.
Let's not.
Oh, okay. It could work. I mean, just what's new Scooby-Doo coming after you, you know? But either way, with it, Ash now just running across the field, trying to find some more eliminations in the kill feed. Solo Spectre takes out the Sour King. With it, Ash now sees one up close, gets shot behind. Builds up very, very quickly, though, and now trying to spot out every single angle. And there's a bunch of people over here at this location, regrouping with the team and sharing what they can, just chilling for a little bit and letting these builds complete, having a full health wall. And KB building up as we see the lasers come through as well. And I mean, at this point, you can see it happening with KB, keeping your head on a swivel. There's so much people here, and there's even more people actually coming in from the north if you look at that minimap as well. And Dragon now up close and personal, laser in hand, trying to break through that wall. We see that opponent run away, run through another build, and run to safety as Dragon goes all the way up, tries to go ahead, find an angle around, find a flank around these builds, but cannot do so. Now tries to build up and, again, regrouping with the team, and this has become almost methodical as the crack comes through on those shields. Dragon with that laser, and doesn't do enough to that play. Instead, takes a lot of damage, down to 58 HP. Will have to go ahead and use those minis.
I love that there are so many teams involved in this as well. I mean, this seems to happen so often, these third-party moments, teams really trying to take full advantage of that, and with good reason. It's such a perfect and prime opportunity to take an advantage that you might not have had otherwise, particularly if it's, if it involves some really strong teams. It gives you a chance to get the upper hand, get them offline. You can see like PRG going down in the kill feed. Like, that's big. You want to take out those big name schools so that you can give yourselves a bit more room to work with. But for now, the builds have managed to come through fairly effectively and given a little bit of space to work with. No, but now with a little bit of space underneath this interesting building, a few pot shots will come through to connect, going for the chase, but getting chased themselves. And this is where you start that Benny Hill music. This is where you have all these players chasing each other. No one is in control here, as each of them is trying to find some sort of a good vantage point, just like that, as Kaizen takes down Solo Spectre, trying to retreat from this nightmare, and that's going to go ahead and give them a little bit more of an advantage into this fight.
Yeah, and secured a second kill over there, or a third kill, I should say. Will go ahead and prove to be very, very beneficial for those points. I mean, they got good last game. They want to do better this game. They want to have maybe a few more kills and closer to that first position, if not that victory royale. As Kyle now trying to spot out where they are. They know that somewhere within all of these resources that have been placed down, there's a couple of people there. And I mean, look at that minimap. It's absolutely stacked over here. What, we have 4 teams in this one little area? 17 teams left alive, and 4 of them just surrounding each other. And with it, Ash now moving towards, spots the player gliding down. Does not connect a few. Actually connects those shots at the end. Knocks down Sinner, and will go ahead, get that confirmed, gaining another KP. And I mean, there's so much people here. You got to think, will these guys stay out in the storm to fight this? Will they even bother rotating? Or do you think they're just going to hold W key in this small little circle and just get as much kills as they possibly can?
Yeah, I think you want to take advantage of the extra damage that the storm does provide for you. No, it's not a lot, but it is extra damage, and every little bit makes some sort of a difference. And goodness me, look at them farming up kills again here. Kaizen having a really great day for himself. I'm also curious because I saw 2 of the Deanka players go down, and I'm not sure if, I think it was Minty that I didn't see in the kill feed. I'm not sure if he's still alive, so I'd be curious to see at some point. Maybe we can check in with them and see if they are actually still in the lobby. But, nothing but gas still in it. Juno still farming up quite a few kills here.
Yeah.
It looks like we have... Ooh, there you go. Getting fired in from a higher ground. Gonna have to try to retreat. Cracked as well. Throwing up a wall there. Ooh,
Oh no!
That...
They disconnected!
Oh, that's rough. That is so unfortunate. You hate to go out that way.
Oh, a little bit of a connection problem for that player. You hate to see it. That's a no-yeet moment right there. As we move over to Flix, who currently is not spectating the battle on the high ground as Booga from Wish over there gets the elimination. I'm going to have to say it like that every single time. I have to.
Oh.
If I could get a reverb on my voice every single time I say that, chat, I
Please
would
no.
be happy, but I'm not
Please
going to
no.
do it. But Booga over there goes ahead, gets the elimination on at least one of the players that were in that board fight. And still so many people on this western side of the zone. I mean, you can see some on a little bit of the northwest from where the center of the circle is. AWAC with very, very good trigger discipline to not fire on that player. Rather, go ahead, find a different angle. They are a duo right now. We'll have to try to get a revive, a res, a reboot very, very soon. And you see in the center of the map as well, the medallion is just laying out in the open. I mean, that yellow team over there might just be using it as bait for the elimination. Or they may have gotten what they needed already, and that's the Baron's Mythic Mammoth Pistol. The two-shot Mammoth Pistol that does 176 damage headshot with 2 bullets in it. It's absolutely insane. And we have a chase going on over here, Sam. There seems to be an armored vehicle running straight through these bullets.
Turns out this game is a lot more like GTA than we thought. Look at that driving. That is some GTA driving here in Fortnite. But
here we go again.
It looks like they've managed to get out of it, so they'll be pretty chuffed with that one. I love that, as you say, that she pulls out a bat. It all just comes full circle. But the armored car does seem to have managed to get away, at least for the moment. Let's see if they can maintain their lives, as we've come down to 13 squads left alive here. Perhaps a little less chaotic than what we had in the previous lobby. What a beam! What another beam! Okay, you know what? Maybe you are Booga from Wish.
Maybe you're just Booga at this point. That's insane. Can we get a confirm? Broadcast, can we get a confirm if this is actually Booga? Because that beams were insane. I mean, using the AUG to the best that you possibly can. And those were headshots, by the way. Those were double headshots. The AUG fires 2 bullets at a time. Both of those were headshots on both of those players. That's the skill level that we're talking about in ASL. This is why we keep on saying the megastars in the making. The future of esports right here in ASL. Thanks to ACGL and, of course, thanks to Ace and Nitro. They are doing the Lord's work making this all possible. But we are down to 11 teams, 26 players left alive with it. Ash still with that laser in hand. You know, it is a viable strat considering you don't have to worry about ammo for that laser at all. It just has a deterioration bar on it. After a certain time, it will break. It's just like how the swords were. It's like how the baseball bat is. But you can do so much with it that by the time you need to replace it, you're most likely in that end game anyway.
Yeah, I think that at that point, you really do want to have something else, though. Might not be the best situation in in-game. Everything's so close quarters can make it a little bit more difficult. I do love that our Christmas team this time around, in a little bit more of the thick of it, still haven't quite managed to gain any KP for themselves here, but up into the top 10, so a little bit of, or a few points that they can at least nab under their belts for that one. They have spotted out another team here, and they are trying to crack away at these buildings, see if they can expose the soft underbelly of players below, and maybe finally get themselves a kill to add on to their points. But that building just keeps rebuilding itself, and somehow Batman has gone down. And of course it's Usmut that they're in a combat with. So there you go. That just shows you why they're having such a tough time. Soaplord goes down as well. Lexus is the last one left alive, and perhaps seeing the names in the kill feed decides, I don't want any part of this. I'm out of here, but they will beam him down before he has a chance to get away. And that'll be Usmut collecting even more KP for themselves as a duo.
That's insane. I mean, it sticks with the law accuracy that Batman doesn't kill, but I mean, you've got to get some KP over here, and unfortunately getting taken out by Usmut, it is going to be tough. Meanwhile, we go back over to where there is no brakes. There's just nothing but gas, and 12 kills total right now to the name a golden hollow twister assault rifle in the hands of Juno, but getting shot from behind, no wall to cover the other angle. Rilo will go ahead and take out FNC as champion, and will have to move all the way over now to go and res Juno. Cade trying to maybe get towards the safety of zone, and Nyla will go ahead confirm that elimination, but gets shot at as well, and in fact actually gets cracked over there. Will go ahead, stick the res. We're down to 7 teams still, but 17 players within this, and it seems like that team number is not dropping whatsoever.
Yeah, it's actually quite surprising if you consider how our last lobby went and how it all just kind of continued to collapse in on itself as teams were constantly fighting it out. This time around, it started off very, like, hectic. The fact that we're already 20 teams down in and of itself make that 21 is already pretty nuts. But in the last few minutes, there hasn't really been that much in terms of altercations. Yes, a few pot shots being fired, a couple of teams here or there, but it's not nearly as high octane or as, you know, intense as what we'd seen earlier. And I think, again, you know, you come into that first lobby, a little bit of a like a warm-up, I suppose, and then you come into this last lobby, and it's the last lobby not only of the day, not only of the week, but of the entire term. And you realize, all right, we've got to take this a little bit more seriously than we did in the first. And I think that's why we're seeing teams play this a bit more safely as and when they can, but not so safely that they don't find themselves in danger from time to time.
I mean, they're playing it exactly like what the Fortnite World Cup was like. Everyone taking their time, waiting for that end game to force anything. And speaking of World Cup, Booga over there, okay, nice default dance, by the way. Booga over there has 2 mythics in the inventory. That's insane. One of those come from an armored vehicle. I don't even know where the shotgun comes from. And that's saying something. I've been playing this game too. It's just completely random. If I'm not mistaken, it might be a black market, but Booga knows where to get the goods from on this map and has secured 2 mythics to their name. And you can see the rest of the teams now on the outside of that safety. One team on the top of the mountain, and they have the high ground that they need. It's like Anakin all over again. Now the rest of the team's moving in slowly. Again, watching every single surrounding. We see Booga checking every angle. Reed getting shot at, but still enough cover to go ahead and prevent any bullets from hitting them. They pull out that baseball bat, try to regroup in this bush, and they will go ahead and sprint off towards the safety of that zone. 15 players left as that zone shrinks, and now you gotta ask the question, how cruel is this next circle gonna be?
Still getting those kind of knocks across the map here. A lot of the time it's these, maybe not solo players, but it's individual players, not full-on teams. You see the kill feed continues to light up, but we maintain that 6-team positioning. But only 13 players left alive, and that in and of itself says quite a lot. We're at a 5-player deficit across our teams here. Kaizen, blood in the water, and he's going to chase this down. Does he know where that player's gone? Yes, he does. He has the most perfect killer instinct, and he's going to try to chase this down, find out where that person is going, and take them out. No fear. Cannot be stopped. Cannot be slowed down. Putting building walls in his way, but still he pushes through. Now, however, has put himself in a little bit of a precarious situation as there are more players around the map to fire in on. But it's okay. It's a little bit of friendly team fire coming through to help get that final knock, and that will bring us down to 4 teams somehow. And Peter Griffin's still alive. Nice.
I'll tell you what just happened there, Sam. We are down to 4 teams. Because nothing but gas just eliminated the entire Wish squad. Somewhere on the map, they got eliminated. I mean, one Malibuka from Wish over there does get the late little knock because the Storm did manage to take Rilo down over there. But still, that's an easy res to have right there. And that might be them on the low ground that Kaizen's shooting at. Kyle now building up as well. They have the ultimate height on the top of this mountain. And surely when you have this advantage, you are putting that fear into the opponent's mind. They have an angle on us from everywhere that we can go. What's going to happen? And sure enough, Kaizen goes ahead, knocks down Juno, and goes ahead and eliminates Juno as well. And spraying down the next one. Cade gets taken down. That's the squad wiped right there. We are down to top 3 situations. And Kai's and Kyle and Withered Ash now gonna do a little sassy emote. You know, cero miedo, zero fear from these guys. You said it earlier, Sam, as Kyle now taking that ego challenge, will heal up. Pops that gold splashes for the temporary shields. It has that speed boost now as well, if need be. If that team pushes up close, we'll be able to pickaxe the wall much, much faster for a wall replace. Withered Ash on the high ground as well, just firing one bullet into that wall, putting a tiny bit of pressure on it, saying, hey, we still have an angle on you. We know where you are. You better move from there. But in fact, everyone's going to have to move from there right now, because look at where that circle's moving to. It's kind of being a little cruel one more time over here, Sam. It's going to that river. Still has a little bit of land on either side, but we've seen how tough it is when circles end off in a watery grave. A watery scenario means that you're not going to be able to build as efficiently. You will get shot at from underneath. Your legs will hang out in the water, and it makes you a free open target. And speaking of open target, Withered Ash gets taken out by Tony from Osmot. Kaizen building out a few floors. Ramp's going out as well. Baseball bat to jump across, builds the cone, lands perfectly, mantles across like a ninja, hiding in the night with that super hero skin, blending into the shadows. On the high ground, we're down to our top 2 teams, 4 players, a 2v2 situation. Kaizen still on that high ground. Spots them down low, tries to get a few shots, cracks the one player, immediately flicks to where the next one is, and now water falling down, hungrier than ever. Like a pack of hounds moving in. We see that scanner down low. What's more, they threw it down to figure out exactly where the opposing 2 may be. They know now they're right above, close. They're beaming through the builds, and you got to be thinking mats might be low for Ursmut. Kaizen, 55 builds, 9 kills, and the total of 18 for this team so far. Dropping down low, baseball bat to secure no fall damage whatsoever. Building up again. The cone's going out to try to prevent any other bullets from coming through. The shotgun shot goes through, goes ahead, knocks down Tony. It's a 2v1 situation. The beam comes through. Kaizen and the rest of the squad go ahead and take that victory with, may I add, a whopping amount of eliminations. And that's going to be, remember, 65 points as well for first place.
Yeah, I mean, what a solid performance from them. We saw them do relatively well in that previous lobby, and that was, of course, Glenwood. I believe they came 4th in that previous lobby in overall score. So to see them now come through, get all of the KP like they did in the previous lobby, but also manage to pull out that victory royale, stopping Usmut from winning that out and only letting them get that 2nd place position, which is still really good. We saw nothing but gas go out relatively early, you know, relative to a victory royale, much earlier than I think they would have wanted, but they still did manage to rake up a lot of points for themselves. So I think across the board here, teams are going to be fairly happy with how their performance was in this lobby, and I look forward to seeing how the standings are going to update. And of course, generally, standings are updated on a Monday, on a once weekly basis. So we will find out very, very soon who those confirmed top 32 teams are. And honestly, I think it's so hard to call right now, not just because the games this week have been pretty intense, but also with that rule of only 1 team per school, it does mean that there's going to be a lot of opportunity for some of our teams that are perhaps a little bit lower down on the ladder, because your PRGs and your Usmuts and your Glenwoods, they've got a few teams that are in the top 32, so you've got to kind of filter them all out and find who the unique teams are so that you can build your Premier Division. But I'm very, very excited because it's a great opportunity for some teams who may not have, or some schools rather, who may not have had that chance in the past.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And of course, all of this is leading up to AGC later this year. ASL 182 schools signing up to get into that 32 spots for Premier, like Sam said. And we will have that leaderboard updated very, very soon. It's going to be a combination of both the first game and the second game that we've seen today. And actually, here it is right now. And nothing but gas, getting 195 points today, staying at the top of today's 2 lobbies. And I mean, we saw why they actually are at the top right now. These guys play so incredibly well. It's absolutely insane what these guys do.
Yeah, I'm always impressed to see how these teams continue to impress us, these schools, these kids, season after season, tournament after tournament, for nothing but gas. Yeah, even though they got taken out a little bit earlier on in that lobby, still did enough to, confirm themselves a really solid position here. I say a little bit earlier on, actually, they managed to stay in all the way into 4th. So clearly when I saw 2 players going down a little bit earlier on, they still had someone alive, keeping them going just that little bit further. And they had 18 kills in that lobby. So the kills plus the placement point means that their score skyrockets at the end of the day. For Glenwood, who were in 4th position at the end of our first lobby, moving all the way up to 2nd. Grey College were in 2nd, moved down to 4th, and I believe Usmut just stayed in 3rd. I could be wrong on that one, but no, that's a lie. I think the Anker were up there, and they dropped down. And Usmut will have moved up a little bit because Usmut took 2nd position in that lobby. So yeah, I mean, it really does come down to it's anybody's game, and it's all about who shows up on the day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And of course, that concludes Fortnite for term number 1. Don't stress though, term 2 is going to be action-packed, no doubt. I mean, if this was just a teaser for what's to come from all of these guys, and it's going to be the hottest action. We get the seeding going on. 8 weeks of term 2, 2 lobbies, 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, where we go ahead and showcase the best of Fortnite. But it's ASL. It's not just Fortnite that we do over here. It's Fortnite, Rocket League, Valorant, a bunch of other titles that we do as well. I mean, if you go back and look at what AGC was last year, we had FC24 going on. We had racing simulators at the event as well. It was absolutely incredible. It's a grand stage for all of these guys to participate in, and it's the grandest stage that they're all aiming for. The road to AGC will start off with term 2 somewhere middle of April. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Hit that follow button over here on African Esports, and go follow ACGL on socials as well, because that's where you'll get the latest news of all things related, not just with ASL, but ACGL as a whole. Sam, it's been an absolute pleasure casting the final Fortnite lobbies with you today. We do have Valorant coming up as well, but Sam, any final thoughts before we cut to that intermission to set up Valorant?
No, I think that you really did put a really solid pin on it. Remember, guys, these are the stars of the future. This is the true definition of grassroots, and we want you to come be a part of it. So make sure that if your school is not involved, I have to get that lexicography correct. It's schools. That's what this is all about. If your school is not involved and you want them to be, make sure that you go and check out the website, schools.acgl.gg. Go and chat to your teachers. See if you can find someone who's willing to help you out, because this really it's the future of sports.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Guys, don't touch that dial. We will be right back after an intermission with a Valorant lobby, and we actually have a surprise guest for all of you as well. So if you guys want to see who that is, stick around. We'll be right back after this intermission. As we told you, it was going to be a short intermission to get into the Valorant action. ASL 182 schools signing up for the 4th year of ASL, one of the biggest turnouts that we've ever had. And I mean, we just got done with some Fortnite action. It was absolutely incredible. We saw the skill level of all of these young players, and we're about to see an even higher skill level because Valorant offers that skill level that's uncompeted with. So we are going to go ahead and jump into that. But allow me to introduce my co-caster for the evening, the one and only, all the way from the Golden Islands of Call of Duty. It's the Trout himself.
Thank you very much, man. I feel a little bit out of the water here, seeing as though it's going to be my first time casting some Valorant, but I have been insta-locked into silver, so that's where I'm sitting at the moment at my rank. I'm learning the different roles, how to play each character, the economy. I mean, there's many layers to this game, but I like what you said about how there's a very, very high competitive ceiling here, because it's a free game it's a free game. It's not R-rated, so it's open to most people, which means people get started very young. The only thing is, I don't like when I shoot somewhere and my bullets don't go there. So that's my biggest learning curve. Other than that, like, I get into a fight, I'm like, damn, my mouse and keyboard aim is good. I'm like, I aim train. I'm like, I'm going to one-tap this guy, turn the corner, and my gun's like, and I'm just missing everything. So it's just not a good time. Either way, it's going to be a good time tonight because I'm excited for my first cast. And thank you for having me. And thank you, ACGL, for putting this all together.
Guys, if you haven't seen Trout at all, the absolute GOAT when it comes to Call of Duty, it's going to be a surefire. It's going to be top of the leagues right here because we have Linden going up against Swartcorp. And when we look at these two teams, Swartcorp is a name that we have seen many times in the past year. They play very, very well. I see a couple of new faces on the side of Swartcorp as well. On the other side, Linden, this is my first time actually seeing Linden play in. Again, we have so many new schools that have signed up for ASL, but we will have Swartcorp on the defending side, Linden on the attacking, and a full lock-in from Linden already. I mean, they've got the Sky over on the team. They've got the Omen smokes. They choose Neon as well. And I mean, it is Haven. There's that long sight line, so Chamber is going to be so useful. And on the other side of Swartcorp, I mean, we do see that Cypher hover, and Cypher so strong on Haven as well, especially when it is a slightly attacker-sided map. 3 points to go ahead and be able to plant that spike. You're going to want a Cypher to slow down your attackers.
Absolutely. I mean, cutting off those flanks is so crucial. Interesting to me that they've only got a duelist apiece. I would have thought at least 2 duelists to start us off here, seeing as though it's going to be, because the rotations between sites are so quick in this map, I'd imagine you'd want an entry fragger or maybe even 2 to back one another up. But well, I suppose Neon can do it all, seeing as though he's actually playing COD with the slide cancelling mechanics and that ult that goes exactly where you're aiming. So, I mean, interesting to see. But I want to know what the buy potential is for these teams, whether or not they all full commit to Ghost, which looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. So I suppose it's all balls to the wall to see who can find those first set of kills, maybe get the bomb down or deny. And as of right now, we just have to wait and see where this push is coming. And if I'm a betting man, I'm going to go mid to A.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first rounds, you know, people always say, you know, it's the first round, it's pistol round. It doesn't mean that much. I say pistol round gives you that opportunity to get into your opponent's heads. It gives you that opportunity to get your mental higher than what your opponent's is. That'll give you a slight advantage over time as the round now starts, and immediately Wirewolf swings wide down sewers but gets taken out. Was not expecting the full 5 to go ahead and peak that immediately. That's going to be immediately a numbers advantage for Linden, and Unk has that camera up as well. Smokes go down from Linden. Ruan now pushing up through sewers as well, and Ziggy going down long, looking to maybe get that orb to get that ult that you talked about, Chad.
Absolutely, and I think interesting swing there from, I think it was Ruan, not Ruan, excuse me, it was the... Man, this is very quick. Anyways, we get straight into the action. Everybody, utility and the kitchen sink thrown. All of a sudden, it's Linden down to 2 players yet to get the bomb down. As they get a bit of a rotation, but here comes the flank play, potentially catching them off, and there's one for Zan, looking for the second. He knows he's near fire. First round, going the way of Swartcorp.
That was a beautiful flank that we saw from Zan over there. And I do want to also go ahead and mention, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first Valorant game that we're streaming on ASL that has Teho as an agent play. Remember, Teho came out the last act and fairly new people were getting used to it. Now we have a new agent that is out Waylay that everyone will have to go try to unlock and learn the ways around it. But Teho offers such a unique set of skills within this. You've got the missiles that pushes and forces players back out of cover. We've got that ultimate, the Armageddon, that'll just kill anyone in its way. I hope we get to see that very soon, but we go ahead, Trailblazer out from 1mm, scanning out the area, making sure there's no one there. Her carry now with those missiles that we just talked about, blind in hand of the Omen as well. Mongo unfortunately gets taken down by Unk with that Guardian, and they're holding window perfectly. Ramcat, Frenzy in hand, knows they're right above, and you can see the cover fire coming through. Her cat jumps out. The Frenzy though goes here, gets the elimination. The immediate trade from Jelly. Ruan could not hit that shot with that Chamber Sheriff, and defenders will go ahead and take an easy second round.
Absolutely, and I think that was a good set of play there. They did manage to force the second round, and it paid off, only losing one player. But again, like you're saying, Teo is such a good character, and the patch that they're playing here, obviously because they're not on the newest patch, it is fantastic, because his bombs still do 70 a hit, his ult moves quicker, but now with the newest act, they've nerfed him into the ground. Trust me, I am a Teo main, so I don't even play him anymore, which is a bit sad, but in this situation, especially on the map Haven, the post-plant potential that he has is insane. Looking like they're going to have to do a bit of a force out of the side of Linden as they go towards C. This is a great camera for one peak. So maybe it's just to get a bit of information to call for the rotate. But right now, it's just information is the name of the game. Playing a bit of chess, maybe some checkers. Cubby is now spotted, Neon. 2 players now called. The reinforcements rotating into the site we go. More utility to be thrown onto the site, and I love how many smokes there are, and just how you spoke about how insane that signature ability from Teo is. He gets the first down.
Yeah, absolutely. There goes the drone, scans out, did not manage to actually suppress anyone and silence anyone on the team. Mongo now with that blind in hand, but Ruan trying to go and slowly move towards B, has that outlaw in hand, looking for the angle. There is one player that is waiting on B. Cam, the spots out where Mongo is, does not connect on that tag. One pushing up, still has the ability to teleport if need be. Needs to check the corner. Ooh! Gets the shot with that outlaw, 20 HP left. And that's going to take us down to a 4v4 situation. Oh.
Well, it's good. 30 seconds to work with here, and it looks like they're going to do a bit of a hard rotation, maybe left. To be seeing as though the site has been cleared. Now it was Ramcat who got that insane, Ruan, excuse me, who got that insane kill. Nice back up to full HP. But Omen looking to be a bit of a nuisance, but he doesn't even need to worry about it because Unk is there to pick up the pieces. 3v3 now, Guardian in hand, slow and steady as he challs the site, being louder than a Heffalump, but the shot's not so good. Mango taken out now, potentially the defuse, but 1mm defeater. In the 1 versus 3, finds the first bomb, is down, has a bit of room to play with here, and utility. He knows where the player should be pushing from. Nice tap there, 1v1. He knows the player's nearby, but it's going to be answered by the Jet, and that's going to be 3 straight rounds for Swartcorp, as these guys have managed to play the economy well as the retake, even though they managed to lose control of the site for a little bit. Wait a second, what's going on here? Oh, he's just looking for we skin shopping? I see you. Anyways, he gets the round 3 in a row. Swartcorp looking very good here on defense.
Yeah, and you mentioned it right there. The economy now is going to prove vital. I mean, Linden have lost 3 in a row. You can see what their credits are. Surely they will get at least 1 gun. 2 guns over there, but Ramcat now, nothing to the name. At a 0 credit. Same with Ziggy. They will have to go ahead and clutch up at least a couple of rounds yet to stay healthy on that econ. Swartcorp sitting comfortably now. Full buys of Vandals and Phantoms. And what a beautiful sight that we actually got to see there. A couple of trades with Guardians. It's not always that we'll see Guardians go back and forth in a fight. So it's absolutely fantastic to see it over here in ASL. Wolf peaks again, but Ramcat waiting with that perfect crosshair placement. Gets the headshot. Now Teho looking to cross over, manages to cross over, wants to peek again, but there's so many over there that you just don't know who to focus on, and 1mm defeater with the Bulldog will go ahead and get that elimination, and you know that they will go pick up that gun. In fact, they already did, as Ziggy now slides to hell. The plant will begin.
Absolutely, and I mean, this is such a crucial round for them to win. This is the epitome of a force round, because if they lose, the economy will completely be broken. But as of right now, it's a 1 versus 4, making a 0 versus 4 for Zan, as the force round pays fruition, as they manage to get the first round on the board there, and the majority of them keep their guns, and they also win some skin, got some skin shopping in there in the background. So right now, economy stabilizing a little bit, bar 1mm defeater, down very low. But either way, it's going to be an answer back now from Swartcorp that's needed, seeing as their economy might be on the ropes here. They're unable to get this round.
I mean, just from the way this is going so far, you can almost tell immediately this is going to be a back and forth game. Like, the way these guys are playing, Swartcorp securing that 3 and Linden absolutely locking in, having Unity peeking angles together, got that win for them. And now the cabbages will go out to go ahead. The Seekers finding where someone is. There's some beautiful from Breach coming through. Zan spraying through with that Phantom.
But there's a wall
Plant,
there.
yeah, the plant already down and breaking that wall just in time before the full HP on it. Zan now just with a few little peeks. There's some strafing, trying to get a cheeky headshot. And Teho now trying to push through. But Sage, Ramcat waiting on height. Like Obi-Wan and Anakin right here as the missiles go right past her.
Well, her carry with the massive 2-piece there, looking for the third. But oh no! Ramcat with some shaky shots, and the stuns are in. Mango alive for how long is the question? Not very long at all. And I think there's just enough time for the defuse.
Oh.
And from the wings comes Swartcorp. And that was absolutely the perfect push from Linden. But the collapse was there. I mean, we witnessed it in HD. And interesting that they weren't a little bit more aggressive on defense. I know that they had they were playing post plant there, but it just felt like they allowed the side of Swartcorp to just sort of mosey their way on, some shaky shots coming out of Linden, and then you just paid the price ultimately in the round going the way of Swartcorp. And it looks like they might have a slight advantage going into the further rounds, as the economy still not looking 100% settled yet for the side of Linden.
And the Cypher setup once again on C, that high camera that will scan Cubby, but no, not going to actually go over there. Hostiles will get suppressed over through sewers with Teho's little drone, and Wild Wolf gets the shot, dashes a little bit more into cover. The smokes go out and immediately backs up one more time. Gets that reload off, and Teho peeking lovely, and Teho has that Armageddon, the ultimate online, as Ramcat now. Sage and Sky have gone over to see. They know that the trip is there. They will break it. They will push onto site. And they will try to get that plant. Camera now gonna slow them down. Peeks through garage. Gets one. The tag from that camera. And the plant will stick. And the timer now ticks on for Swartcorp. But it's a 4v2 situation as Unk gets a lovely headshot.
Nice little snap there coming out of Unk, like you said. Now a 4 versus 2. And the potential collapse in the works, some more utility being thrown. 1 versus 3, but the shots have to be clean from Ruan. He finds the first, though, just playing that clock. He has his ult in hand, but so does Breach. And I think you're going to be bullied out of that cubby. And thus, the round going the way of Swartcorp. And
it's the aftershock, man. That's kind of cruel right there. You know they cubby, you force them between a rock and a hard place, essentially. That aftershock. So cruel in that situation, but well played over there to Swartcorp. They did absolutely incredible. Unk with that flick was insane, Chuck.
Absolutely, but I mean, standing still. He's just got a nice flick of the wrist motions right there. But now we have to see an interesting set of plays coming out of the boys over at Linden. They have 3 out of 5 ults to work with, but no rifles. Only pistols and 1 Marshall. So this is going to be the thriftiest of thrifty rounds if it comes through.
Will we go John Wicko mode, or will that actually go ahead and cost the down? I mean, they were on a low budget of weaponry, and we saw them get guns early on. Wild Wolf gets 1, but the immediate trade from Ruan with that Tour de France, that ultimate sniper, and that drone goes through. They do not spot it. 2 gets suppressed. That's not the ult yet. That's the missiles. Then there's the ult from Ruan, however, that makes sure the Armageddon won't come through. And now Jelly with the ultimate flank, one can think, but Linden pushed up already to sight. The blind going out 1 heaven. The TP, the shadow step up to heaven. Doesn't clear. Close left and gets taken out. 3v3 situation.
And I mean, that was a crucial kill to get onto the Teo because he was probably going to wait for them to come down alley and then just ult them to force them into gunfights. So getting the kills when it's most needed, but Ron unable to get the snap. He has 2 shots left in his ult. He finds one. It's a 2 versus 2. He's blinded. The clock is ticking down. It's a 1v1 Sand. Peeking his little head there. But the time's still working out for him. But I think there might just be enough. Is it hot? Yeah, they got enough. They got enough, and it came down to the wire there. Almost the thrifty of thrifty rounds. But again, it's just the ability to fall back on your rifles. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think it was Mango who TP'd up into heaven.
Yeah.
Not checking his corners, knowing that it is a typical retake play. That's a bit of a blunder in my opinion.
I mean, Trout, now you have to be thinking, what does Linden have to do to get back into this fight?
Well, they managed to save, and now they have all rifles. I mean, they're all Vandals. Okay, I respect the ability to one-tap here, but they're going to need to commit to a site with all of the players, or potentially have one person make noise, the others go and plant, but they need to get more control, because at the moment they don't have control both pre- and post-plant, and that's where they're being picked apart.
Teo pushed up very quickly to copy drone out. Will go ahead, suppress 2 spots out where Omen and Sky is. And look at this now. Swadkop have pushed up all the way down C long, and they spot them out all the way over by A main. And they get a couple eliminations right there, a couple headshots, securing a numbers advantage for Swadkop. But Ruan with the swing out and the headshot from distance will go ahead and take us back down to a 3v3. Not that even though Jet is very, very low, and it's all down to Mongo now. Finds one. Sees where the spike is. Has the ultimate. Knows that that's in play. Fakes it out with a neural theft from Cypher. This is very, very winnable for Mongo, but doesn't check the corner. Both of the players on SWATcorp were incredibly low, but the flank from Wild Wolf will secure another round for SWATcorp.
That was a very, very risky play from SWATcorp to push out there through C, look into the spawn. They almost got themselves into a bit of a tricky situation where they would have had a series of 1v1s. Regardless, it was the side of SWATcorp that came out on top. But Linden, again, talking about map control and post and pre-plant control, they don't have it because you could see there they were separated and then it became a 1v1 or 1v2, excuse me, and you isolated. They know roughly where you are. Even though they're low, they can play quick trades. But here comes Neon, moving as quick as possible, trying to get onto A as best they can. And a quick wrap from the side of SWATcorp, realizing that they need to get back as quick as possible, as the plant should be pretty much instant here. As Sky actually pops his ult to see if he can clear them through the mid-map.
Yeah, and Mongo uses the ultimate as well to get on top of the box over just towards spawn, and that's actually beautifully done. No one's going to expect Mongo to actually be there. We see the drone go off. It went up to heaven from Teho. Smoke goes out now. Wild Wolf pushing into that smoke. Blind in hand from Mongo goes out. The spray through. Neon does get it. There's the Armageddon from Teho. Not finding anyone, but forcing a few members off of the site. A lot of trades going on so quickly. We're back down to a 2v2. Make that a 2v1, and just like that, ZWK, SWATcorp go ahead. And they managed to clear out Linden again, and another defuse for SWATcorp.
Yeah, that's the control I was talking about, and I'm starting to think that potentially the Gunny and overall 1v1s are going the way of SWATcorp yet. There is specifically Ziggy's having a real shocker, 1 in 8. I mean, I get that you're under a lot of pressure, but 1 in 8 at this level, it is still a league, and professional play, you're going to be punished. So right now, it looks like in terms of slaying ability, SWATcorp completely taking over here. And now 8-1, 3 rounds left in the round in the half. It's just really not looking good for Linden, if we're being honest.
Yeah, and an interesting trip over there from Ung. That's a fairly deep one as well. An easy to break trip as the jump peak goes through, spots out where they are. The camera will also spot out Cubby, but camera getting immediately destroyed. Smoke's now down, and missile locks coming in. Will it go ahead, deal some damage? It does deal damage on Ziggy. Thought he was safe, but was not. Mongo gets onto side, 3 HP, gets 1, but Teho right there. Use that Odin, getting a limb. Now the drone comes out as well. And Caddy knows exactly how to use Teho over here. Knows all the jumps to use that drone. And now we're in a 2v2 situation.
tough one, but the bomb is down at the very least. They know where the push should be coming from, but the shot's so shaky. Now, with the outlaw in hand, finds one. Nice. Little bit of utility usage there as well. I would have personally kept it there, but all right now. Just burning that clock to see if he can force the 1v1. And Wild Wolf is low HP, so he just needs to hit one. He does indeed. Are we seeing the 9-3 curse potentially?
Maybe. You know, we might actually be seeing it. Tries to go for the op, but could not get there in time. Was just too far away. But what a comeback in that round over there. Beautifully done by Ruan with that outlaw, hitting both of those shots. And that'll secure a little bit of cash for Linden. They will need a couple more rounds to go ahead. And, you know, best case scenario right now, they're thinking of a 9-3. You know, the best possible outcome is that they win a couple more over here and push us into that 8-4 before we get into that half. Wild Wolf, however, has that Blade Storm out. Just misses because of the teleport from Chamber. Ziggy shotgun in hand, but did not expect Teo to be crouched. Teo gets 2 over there before getting traded out.
Oh, and there's another bit of utility usage. The ult coming out and now recharged as Jet finds another. All of a sudden, 2 versus 4. They do have an Odin. And, okay, nice. Oh, Ramcat brings Ruan back in. The carry needs to play. You can see Raw Jelly around the back end with that Bucky in hand might be able to make it a bit tricky, but the shot's not quite there with the blades. So 3 versus 3, making it 2 versus 3, and the timing working out perfectly for Raw Jelly. 2 versus 3 once more, and spam through the smoke is where it's at, but he knows the bomb is on him. He's playing for that Guardian, and now it's down to 49 seconds, and here comes the net, closing all around them, but the shot from Ramcat, too good. 2 versus 2. Shots need to be better. Make it a 1 versus 2. 1 versus 1. A Ramcat. Full HP versus Zan.
Was thinking about using the aftershock over there, but now Spike getting picked up. Here's the reload. Close left. Phantom versus Guardian. You know the Phantom. Phantom notorious for hitting that 140 headshots and leaving the player left alive, but I mean, we saw the turnover there, and Zan gets the elimination on a turned opponent. And, you know, 9-3 right now is what Linden is aiming for. They have to go ahead as a best case scenario and hope that the curse is real. Hope that they can make that comeback. And the question is, do you and does Linden believe in miracles for that to happen?
Well, it needs to be a little bit more than a miracle, as they have committed 2 Odins, and I think that's they're just hoping at this stage that they can sort of bully their way onto a point and maybe hold it down. But they need to find that first blood, and they need to be able to get it going well. But Raw Jelly is there for the first, and here comes the Odin spray, like I was speaking about. He's just spraying everything, unable to find the kill though. But it doesn't matter. Here it comes, still punished by Zan. Now a 3 versus 4, more utility usage out, and it's just the ring of that Odin makes my skin crawl. It is so awful to play against.
I mean, it's the scariest sound, especially when you know that you can wall bang on this map as well. And Jelly now on the height of the box. Still that 4v2 situation, gets the 1 from that neural theft. Spots out another one through that neural theft, but doesn't get that elimination this time. Shadow stepping out with a beautiful jump peek, taking down to 2 HP, but now has the information. And both of those players will have popped up on the map as well for the rest of SWAT Corp. The one has that Tour de France in hand. There's the 1. Looking for the second as the Armageddon comes through as well. The Armageddon will go ahead and take out Jelly over there. A little bit of friendly fire, but still, that's going to be the 10th round secured for SWAT Corp as we get to the half.
Well, that was a fantastic round there from the side of SWAT Corp. I mean,
beautiful half.
I like the TP bait out from Omen, but your 2 HP was cutting it really close. But you can see now they are committed fully to winning their ones. They're almost all of them bought some ghosts there, but you can see Unk, knowing that he's currently 17 and 6, he can rely on a shot, so he reverts back to the classic. Wow, goodness, I knew the one who's fasting, and I can't even speak. It has a bit of utility to play with in the back pocket, potentially stop a bit of a flank with those trips. But A is where things tend to start off with, and you spoke about how important the pistol round is, and I think it's going to set the tone for the second half.
I mean, sometimes a classic is better than a ghost. Sometimes the bullets just hit better. As we see Ziggy now try to sprint out. Will try to ego challenge it. Actually gets the ego challenge. Wild Wolf gets taken out. Ziggy now.
Oh dear.
stuck in the corner with those missiles, but manages to sprint out 4 HP and a dream. As is this the comeback for London as they go ahead and secure almost a flawless round over there, only losing 1 at the end.
Well, that was a perfect defensive round, like you said. Neon getting information, they're sliding out, and the Ego Chow, I think he didn't actually get the kill. It was Ramcat in the back pocket helping him in that 1v2 effectively, but regardless, damage was dealt, and now they have enough to do at least a half buy or potentially a force, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Bar Ramcat, who's keeping some funds in the bank. Well, as I said, that he buys a Marshall, but I've seen some crazy things with full Stinger loadouts on VCT,
yeah.
so maybe South Africa is trying to get on that train as we go straight towards Garage, looking to see what's in sale. In the Garage sale, but right now, shots are in the Tink is there. But you just play your life as it's going to be run with that sniper. It looks like he can find the kills when necessary, playing the sniper operator as well as the sniper gun very well. Chamber getting the first blood, and now tags are in. Mongo with another.
Mongo with 2 over there. In window, has the spike as well, pushes out now, dinks Jet, but Zan with that ghost able to get one. Stinger now still in hand of Wildwolf as the stun will go out. It will get 1mm defeater. Wildwolf gets that elimination 2v2 situation. Wildwolf the only one that's down on HP over here as Ramcat and Ruan move in with their marksmans as well, outdoing Marshall.
They haven't got the bomb, man. They have to go back and fetch it. So
They
have
don't.
side control, but they have to go find it. But it's going to be Ron with the sniper in hand, waiting for the second. Oh my goodness, the timing. Will he find it the second time round? Well, he's down to 71 HP. But this is going to have to be a perfect swing. Well, he tags up 1, but the wall is in, and now we're playing time. Fantastic utility usage there from Ramcat. 8 bullets and a dream. Not quite going to happen. Ramcat seals the deal 10-4. Slowly chipping away at that economy, finding kills and rounds is Linden.
You know, the slow comeback from Linden right now. And good thing Ramcat over there noticed that the Stinger was on the ground, switched out from that Marshall to the Stinger to clutch up that round. Beautifully done. 10-4 now. And you got to be thinking ZWK are probably like, what's going wrong over here now? What's happening? Lock in, boys and girls. Let's try to get these rounds. We just need 3 more. Let's get it over and done with. Linden, though, not giving up, still remaining to breathe, even though they were in the shallows, or the deep ends, I should say, now swimming back to the shallows as Stun goes out down long. The immediate push, Ramcat doing some cheeky little grim walls over on site, and no one's going to go ahead and expect this as the smoke goes out. The drone as well. Drone will go ahead and get destroyed watching sewers. And I mean, you look at that flank already. Here it is. Ziggy gets the elimination, and Ramcat doing a beautiful little jump over back and forth on this wall to watch both angles very effectively. And some more flanks will come through right now. Really missing the first shot and taken down to 5 HP and will get taken out.
Well, fantastic stuff here from Linden, as they very clearly are a defender-orientated side, as they have managed to dwindle the numbers down to a 2 versus 4, but the bomb's still in hand now with Teo as they rotate over towards B, trying to find a pick. But again, economy so important here as they are playing for an eco round. Well, he did manage to get a kill there, find Vandal, and now they're playing Hot Pocket with the guns as sent over to Zan is going to be that Vandal. 3 versus 2. Teo down to pretty much a ball hair's worth of life here. But they have done a good job of clearing the site, and they should be able to get the bomb down. I eat my words. Now, he has to play this perfectly 1 versus 3 with almost no HP.
Ooh, gets one, but could not get the other one that was behind. I mean, Teo right there did go ahead, peek out behind that box, literally asking, ¿Qué está haciendo aquí? What are you doing there? And gets that headshot before Omen couldn't even, begin to fathom that Teho was swinging out. A close one over there for DWK, but Linden making the comeback. They just need 5 more rounds to tie us all up. DWK need that 3 to win. I mean, we can say just 5. Just 5, Chad, but the way that they're playing, they've gotten that comeback immediately. So I believe that they can do it as Ruan pushes up. Does not get the headshot that was wanted. TP's out. That's 70 HP left on Teho, who moves into Kabi now. And that's going to be information delayed over to Linden as well that, hey, they all down C-Long.
Well, information gained, but the kill yet to come through. But again, it's almost like the whole game has been turned on its head. It looks like Swartcorp is pretty scared to play against the defending side of Linden, and that's really not how they were playing when they were on attack. And right now, they are just getting spread apart on the map. I mean, sort of all boxed in around C, but are waiting to see if they can find that first blood, maybe get a bit more map control. But as you can see, the longer they take, the more space the side of Linden is taking up, slowly closing the net around them.
Yeah, and we see Ziggy also like starting a little bit of a flank as well, pushed all the way up A main, and is just waiting there in case anyone decides to go ahead and rotate back over. And now maybe the commit comes through for C as the missiles come through. The sprays to the smoke from Ruan gets one. Teho is down. Immediately gets healed up from Sage. There's the second. Looking for another one perhaps. Does not get the third, but they've secured enough to have the advantage. And 1 millimeter makes sure that that's the gap between the bullet and missing and gets the headshot on the final player. 6-10 is our score.
Fantastic plays coming out of the boys over at Linden. And now again, forcing another broken economy save round for the side of Swartcorp. They committed to all having rifles, but they weren't really able to convert much from that other than giving some nice skins over to Linden. So right now, they need to figure out where they want to go, because if I'm looking at the way they have been playing, it does look a lot like they are very split in which direction they want to find a bit of control. Right now, it looks like B in their sights, and aggressively they go. Teo trying to see if he can fill the site with lead. But nice movement from Mongo as he finds the first, using that TP to his advantage.
And gets suppressed as well over there by the drone. Gets two, looking for the runs right past one. Did not expect Ankh to push up that quickly. But still, they're doing such a fantastic job of winning their ones. A 3v2 situation as Ankh goes, he gets one. Flash goes out, will hit, but Ankh still with that shit of like the wild, wild west. Hits that headshot. Ruan knows where Ankh is. But unfortunately, the ult comes through. And we'll go ahead, stun, get the elimination. Ziggy, last one left alive for Linden right now. The aftershock pushes up very close, forcing Ziggy all the way out. Stun goes out. Vince up close. Time ticking away. Spots out where the camera is. Gets one, but I mean, you're not going to have time to go ahead and actually get that. And you give the ace over to Ankh and Cypher right now. The top frag. Proud of that ace. And even more proud of pushing that score up to 11.
Absolutely. And now they all have enough for some rifles. And finally, their thrifty round comes through as they manage to open that door. And it was looking a little bit hairy there for a second. But of course, Ankh, with the ult in hand now that he does have, he can potentially play for a very, very devious post-plant sort of punishing round, if they so wish. But again, in the sights of Swartcorp, but they need to find that first blood. Nice bit of utility usage because they know how aggressive the side of Linden has been. But Ruan tagged up, forced back. We get to see that Sage Wall in use again. Unable to find the kill. Here comes some more from Teo and the ult, but the kills have to be perfect now from Ramcat. He finds the first, he knows he's nearby. He finds two. Ramcat, the island for the side of Linden here, and here comes the flank. But here's the ult that I was talking about. This is where it gets even more hairy. 1 versus 4 now, but not able to even find another kill in the round. Linden, withstanding the pressure of every single ult and piece of utility, it felt like, from Swartcorp securing the round, and now they have a bit of air around their heads to breathe deeply as they have even more credits in the back pocket.
A beautiful 4K from Ramcat over there, and we're immediately going to go ahead and get a timeout for Swartcorp. And you know they got to be saying, what are we doing wrong? How are we losing this many rounds after each other? How are we losing these ones? What's happening? Why are we overcommitting? Because they are forcing their way through. They are putting that plant down. They're wasting ultimates. I mean, we saw the Armageddon get used on site, but it got used in an area where there was no one. So you got to be locking in now. We got to use this at the precise time. We got to be a unit like we were in that first half. And I mean, with 20 seconds left on the timeout, one can only hope that they go ahead and get their heads locked in. They get the mental back up because Linden seems to be locked in right now. They've brought that score all the way up and have almost tied.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to a potential overtime here if this side of Swartkrop doesn't sort of wake up. And I like how you said that the Teo ult was wasted there, because in that situation, they know that there is one player playing top, but I think he was a bit afraid of potentially ulting his teammates. Either way, I would personally use the ult as a post plant to deny a diffuse. I mean, you can use it aggressively, but generally you use the ult to either deny a plant or force gunfights. He did neither there. That was sort of just like a scare tactic, sort of like flexing his muscles. I mean, there is just one player, that being Raw Jelly, but he does have his ult in hand. I think that's why he hasn't bought anything, so potentially able to buy for another one. Split coming through here, looking to make a bit of noise either way, but right now, slow and steady wins the race as they realize that they might be playing a little bit too quickly right into the trap set by Linden, and this is what they waited for, right? Linden getting aggressive. He is spotted out. Ruan might have just made an absolute peak blunder here as he knows the players are looking for him, and it's going to be first blood drawn by Unk. Slow it down, potentially able to work the round from there.
Unk's shot is absolutely insane as Tejo now, her carry, moves up through sewers, and you know, a trade going off over there on a Ramcat, but at least you know the heals are down as Jelly now going to pop that ult all the way to heaven. 4v3 situation. Smoke's going out as we see a blind also come through from Swartkorp. And Unk just spraying through that smoke. And this is where that Armageddon would have come in hand. You have the plant down. We have Tejo alive still. It would have been beautiful over here, but still now have to work without it as Jelly up in heaven switches out to that Vandal. Gets 2. 3v1 situation. Can you believe
this felt like
in
a different
miracles,
round.
Mongo? Yeah, no, this is... they are locked in after that timeout. We see the shadow step, the peak. I mean, time ticking away ever so quickly over here. And yeah, you're not going to be able to go ahead and defuse that. We'll get the elimination, though. But that is going to be another round. Just one goal.
Yeah, nice condolence kill there from Mongo, but like you said, it felt like a different team altogether. They were able to use their ultimates correctly, get onto the site, get control, find that first blood, and slow it down. I mean, it feels like this game, and this is what I'm trying to grasp, because COD has got many layers. Don't get me wrong, but Valorant, with the economy, the way that you have to use your utility, it's just got layers on layers on layers. And one simple thing like changing the pace of your play is where you can turn around and from pretty much going the way of a defender to attacker, and that's exactly what happened. It looks like there might have been a DC there from Ruan on Linden, so I'm not sure what the ruling is, but not looking great now for the side of Linden as we get to see even more ults being committed to find that first blood coming out of Swatcut. Swartkorp.
I mean, they didn't call it out in chat for a pause on the timer, so the round will still continue, but you can see Swartkorp is a little bit confused on whether they should push or whether we're actually going to try to get Ruan back in the game or not. But eventually we'll push up towards B, and that's the chamber down. That's the carry that is now out of the game as the Blade Storm does damage, but no refresh on it whatsoever. Rushes in, dashes to get the gun in the smoke now, but behind you is that Sky. You got to be very careful. 1 millimeter defeat, a Vandal in hand, and gonna get ready with that Trailblazer as Ramcat's on the other side, and Ziggy sprinting all the way around on that flank, trying to catch Unk off guard as Unk hopping into that window.
Oh, unlucky smoke there for Ziggy. He knows where the player should be. He gets paranoid. And now you can see it's coming down to 1 millimeter defeater who finds 2 though. And there's the Sage Wall. Fantastic. But Raw Jelly is there for the trade. And now it is Chamber and Sky to make it happen. Time ticking down. The fake comes through. The shots are in. Raw Jelly in a 1 versus 1. But I believe Ruan is disconnected. GG from Swartkorp as they managed to find the final nail in the coffin of Linden. 13-7 is the final score. And it got very hairy for Swartkorp, but they set the pace in that first half so strongly as they managed to go up 10-12, got it all the way down to, I think it was 11-7, and then they closed it out after that timeout. Obviously, the comms got sort of cleared out. They knew what they wanted to do, and they played how they played in the first half. I mean, they just sort of got picked apart, played at a weird pace. They weren't really coming with each other or playing off of each other correctly. But again, small adjustments lead to big rewards, and that's exactly what happened. Swartkorp winning 30-7. Man, I'm not used to these names. Sorry, guys.
I mean, that's a tough one for Linden over there. You got to think that if Chamber was still over there, did not disconnect, did not have that connection issues, that it would have been another round for Linden over there. I mean, they got Omen down to 5 HP, and the other player wasn't at full HP either. But still, GG's go over to SWAT Corp. I mean, this is the Valorant school leagues that we're talking about. You can see the skill level over here. I mean, these will one day be the future esports players representing South Africa. And we do this over here on ASL, brought to you by Ace and Nitro, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. This has been the final day of Term 1. What a fantastic 4 weeks that we've had. Not only with Fortnite did we go into a brand new season in the middle of the second week, but we got to see Valorant action. We got to see Rocket League action. Now, Trout, you know what that means, right? It means this is the final day, which means we'll be meeting and yeeting all of y'all in April when we start Term 2. Remember, Term 2, a long 8 weeks, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fortnite, Rocket League, Valorant, 2 lobbies of Fortnite per day. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Hopefully we get to see more of Trout over here on the ASL scene as well. I mean, Trout, you did absolutely fantastic on this Valorant cast. It's been an absolute pleasure, brother, to be casting with you over here. Any final words before we go ahead and end it?
Oh, thank you very much for having me. I hope I didn't disappoint anyone with my first Valorant cast. I had a good time, got a lot to learn. But overall, it was a fantastic showing of skill. And you spoke about how these guys are the future of esports in this country. I already say they are there. They're not the future. They're currently the esports, because every single one of those guys would have gunned me. So it would have been free low for me, or free licks, if you will. But either way, fantastic stuff there being shown from the school group here in South Africa. And on that note, we'll see you guys in Term 2. And don't worry, I will be here for this game and